Hi, welcome to my channel. This is the budget photographer. Today I'm going to talk about this lens. This is the Olympus 14 to 150 f4 to f5.6 Mark II. This lens is so underrated in my opinion. It's one of the most practical and versatile zooms out there. It's small, lightweight, and covers incredible zoom range. Is this lens right for you? Let's find out. This lens is what you'd call a super zoom. It's usually sold as a bundle with cameras like the Olympus EM5 Mark III or the OM5, at least here in the US. If you're into Micro Four Thirds, you've probably heard about the Pro lenses, the Olympus 12 to 40 f2.8, or the Panasonic 35 to 100 f2.8. This humble 14 to 150 lens has always been overlooked. I think that's a big mistake. I've taken thousands of photos with this lens, and it's my go-to travel lens. The 14 to 150 covers the full frame equivalent of 28 to 300mm zoom range. It's an incredible versatile zoom range. For anyone who looking to having a single lens that does it all, this lens is perfect. At 14mm, you get decent wide angle for street and environmental shots. And at 150, it's low enough for casual wildlife and detail shots. This lens weighs just 260 grams. It's incredibly lightweight compared to what it can do. It's perfect for traveling light or go on a hike. I'm not feeling tired after like a whole day of carrying this lens. Side by side with the full frame super zoom, the Tamron 28 to 200. This lens is just like a baby. Now let's talk about the image quality. I'm evaluating the optical performance of the Olympus 14 to 150mm against two of the best zoom lenses in Micro Four Thirds world. We are comparing against the Olympus 12 to 40 Pro at 14mm and the Panasonic 35 to 100 at 100mm. At 14mm, when we shoot wide open at f4, the center sharpness of the 14 to 150 is a bit worse than the 12 to 40, as expected. At the corner, the gap is even wider. However, when I stopped it down to f8, the center sharpness is very close to 12 to 40 at f4. And the corner sharpness improves dramatically. At 100mm, let's compare it against the 35 to 100 Panasonic. The maximum aperture of the 14 to 150 goes down to f5.6. When comparing it against the 35 to 100mm at f4, the center sharpness is close. The corner, however, is worse, but it's understandable. It will be less obvious in real-world scenarios for sure. And let's not forget that the 14 to 150 goes to 150mm, which I don't even have a pro lens to compare against. One feature I can't praise enough is the weather sealing. This lens is fully weather sealed. Just like many Olympus bodies, I've taken to medium rains and wet waterfalls, and I kept shooting with full confidence. Is there anything I wish this lens could do better? Absolutely. One limitation of this lens is that it's a full frame equivalent of 28mm, which is, to be honest, not really a wide angle. It's considered to be more for a documentary or street photography photo range. So there are cases where I wish it would be a little bit wider. For this image, I was shooting on a single log bridge, so I can't really zoom with my leg. I wish it could be a bit wider here. If you shoot a lot of landscapes and need a wider perspective, you might want to pair this lens with something like the Olympus 9 to 18mm or many other wide-angle options. Another drawback is the aperture. At f4 to 5.6, this lens isn't the best for low-light shooting. You're not going to get blurred background and great subject separation, unless you get too close and zoom to the telephoto end as much as you can. In dim conditions, you will need to bump up your ISO, use a tripod, or rely on the amazing stabilization from most Olympus and Panasonic and Micro Four Thirds cameras. So do you use this lens or any other super zoom lens for travel? Let me know in the comment below. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, please consider a thumb up or subscribe. This is a brand new channel, so any bit of your help would get me a long way. I'm Bruce, and this is the Budget Photographer. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.